what's at the top names everything that's underneath it, all right? And so what you're doing there is you're using a very brain-friendly way to organize information for children to be able to retrieve it. I think that's kind of interesting because I think a lot of people do word walls and don't even really know why we do them that way, but that's because that's the way the brain best retrieves information, okay? All right. Now, when you put words on the word wall, that means all the kids in your room know that word, right? Right? No, you put the words on the word wall, and you're lucky if half your kids know that word, right? So what you have in your room is you've got, if you have 30 kids, you have 10 kids who learned the word, you have 10 kids who already knew the word, and you have 10 other kids who still don't know the word, okay? Because remember, the word wall teaches children how to retrieve, not how to read it. So what we did was we assessed our children shortly after the beginning of the year, because I start introducing sight words like the second week, I and see, and we start building sentences using those words. And then the next week we introduce can. So we can do I see sentences and I can sentences right away, okay? So what I did was I assessed my children. I went down the list of words, and I had them read the words to me, all right? Then using that list, I put all the words they know on the ring. Now, for the brain to best learn information, it needs what's a 70-30 ratio. 70% known, 30% unknown. So that means for every 7 words they know, they can have 3 words they don't know. Okay? Now, to be quite honest, I never put more than 3 on the ring that they don't know. But starting out, that's real important that you don't have 10 words on a ring they don't know. Okay? So if they don't know any words, what do? You put color swatches on there. They read red, yellow, green, purple, brown, black, A, I, C. Okay? They only have 3 on there that they don't know. Now, if you're using ESGI, what you have right here is these are your flash word cards. You can use these to assess kids, but these can also go home. So you can use these each week as you're adding your new words to the word wall. You don't even have to make your own cards. You just go into ESGI. It's going to print out the ones they don't know, and you're going to send, and you can actually print out all of them if you go on there. And if you don't know how to do that, go see my ESGI friends when we get done. All right, but you can send those home with kids. Now, if you look right here, up here it says print complete flashcard set. That's how you're going to make it where you can print all the cards so that you can send them home with all your children, and they'll have all the ones that they know and the ones that they don't know. The great thing about ESGI with this is it will send home a letter to parents letting them know what kids know and what kids don't know. So they can go home and they'll have all the words they know and then the ones that they're working on it. All right? Now, here is how I store my words. I just use these long file boxes. I picked them up like at Staples. The reason why you see so many different headings there is because every year, how many of y'all remember the first year they asked us to teach sight words? Like 10 words, and we about had a conniption, right? And so every year, what do they do to us? Add more words and more words and more words. So that's why it looks that way. Now, this is how I organized my my weekly words, because how many of you have ever done this? Like, you haven't put words on the word wall for 4 weeks because you've kind of forgotten and you couldn't remember where you put the words. And so you say, okay, boys and girls, today we're going to add 20 new words to our word wall. Like, why? Y'all, forget it. You're 3 weeks behind, okay? Don't try to do that. It makes no sense to do that. Not that I haven't done it myself, because I have. But what I did was, over the summer, when we have our most time, I made a folder for each week. I went ahead and printed out the word cards for each week. I put in there the words that were going to go on my word wall. I also have in there my academic vocabulary words I'm going to introduce that week. And I have the words that I'm going to add to, like, my magnetic letters and my overhead. And do y'all even know what an overhead is? Okay? But any of those kind. That way, every Monday, all I have to do is pull that folder out, and I'm ready to go to introduce my new words. Now, what do we do once we get those words up there? Okay, so we got the words up there. We got them on our parking lot. Now, what are we going to do? Well, I would tend to play the same games over and over and over again. So I made myself just a little stapled page, little booklet, nothing fancy. And then on the inside, I put all the ways that we can cheer words. That way, each week, I'm not saying, okay, let's cheer like a robot once again. I can pick something different. I always say on here, I've got the one like where you have to do the John Travolta. And I always say, okay, what movie do you know from John Travolta? And I can tell you how old you are by how you answer. Because if you're young, you answer Pulp Fiction. If you're older, what do you say? Staying Alive. Okay, so you're like a long time ago, baby. She's all the way back to Greece, okay? So there you go. All right, but it has all the different ways we can spell out the words. What we know about the brain is that the brain likes engagement and the brain likes novelty. And when we provide those to the brain, the brain actually produces dendrites, which makes it easier for the kids to learn the new information. All right? Then I have some word activities. Now, this actually came from my friend, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. I can't remember who I got this from. But anyway, what I have here is these are all the chants that we've put on the sticks, and we've put them in the can. Kathleen Peterson's blog is where I got these. I couldn't remember where I got them from. But then on the back, it's got what it is. So each day, you could just have a kid pull one out. Now, these are from my friend Dede Wills, and she has these in her TPT store. So I'm just trying to show you some different options of how you can make this happen. You can do a booklet like I did. You can do sticks like Kathleen did. You can do a little ring like Dee Dee did. You pick out which way works best. These were actually cut and put on paint sticks, okay? Just different ways to add those cheers. Now, what about some group activities? Well, here's some things we can play with the game. First of all, we're going to pass the ball, and each child says the next letter. So let's say the word is am. So you would say am, A-M, am. All right, then I would do the next word, can. You would say can, C-A-N, can. So it just goes around the circle like this, okay? And they're passing a ball. When you get the ball, you have to say the next letter in the word. Flashlight words, actually, we had an open house, a grand opening at one of our local drugstores, and they had all this free stuff. And it didn't say how much you could take. It just said free. I mean, how many of you would ask for a bag? All right, like give me a bag. I filled it up. I took 25 of those little flashlights, okay? I hope nobody else in Warner Robins wanted one of those little flashlights. But then what I did was I would say, starlight, star bright, find the word is tonight. And the kids would have to take their little flashlight and find the word is in the room. Because what we want them to know is that these words are the words we're going to see most commonly in print. Okay? If you only have one flashlight, just do starlight, star bright, name the word I shine on tonight. And you shine on a word, and the kids have to tell you the word. You roll a dice and find all the words with that many letters. So you roll it, and it lands on 3. You have to read all the words on the word wall that only have 3 letters. This game is called, calling it hangman probably isn't really politically correct today. So we're just going to call it build. All right, instead of calling it hangman. But we've all played hangman or build before. The problem is some kids can do it, and the rest of the kids can't, all right? You know that by the way they're guessing. So here's what's going on. I have got my word. My kids my idea in my mind. Here's the word wall. That's where all of the words, it's going to be one of those words, okay? So I say my word has 3 letters. I draw 3 lines. They draw 3 lines. Then we go to the word wall and we identify all the possibilities. What word could it be? They write their guess on their dry erase board. Then someone guesses a letter. So let's say they guessed H, and I put an H on the first line. Can it be the? No. So if it can't be, they have to erase it, and they have to find a 3-letter word that starts with H, okay? All right. This game is called SWAT. You put all your sight words in your little bucket. You pass it around the circle. Each child takes out one of the cards, and they have to read the sight word. Now, if someone pulls out the word SWAT, which I know that's on there somewhere, right there, then all the cards have to go back in. Now, I know you've played that game a million times, right? What'd you call it? Pop or bang or But what I'm saying is we can play that game all year long. All we do is change the clip art. It's Thanksgiving time. You put them on turkeys, and you call it the gobble gobble game. I mean, so it's a great game that you can change the novelty, and the kids think it's a new game, but you're not having to teach a new set of rules. This game, what we do is we spread all the cards out on the floor. You say the word. Now, this is a Georgia fly swatter because that's the size of our flies in Georgia. All right? And you say the word. If the word is C, then the kids have to find, the ones that have the fly swatters have to find the word C and hit it with the fly swatter. Now, they hit it. They say the word C, S-E-E-C. Okay, so there it is where I played it with the snowmen, and they're melting. I mean, the sun's melting the snowmen. So I hope that gave you some good ideas of some things you can do with your word wall. And really what I hope you got most from that is the idea of how to actually learn a word, because I promise you, just by changing the way you present words to kids, you're going to see a growth in the number of words they're able to read. So thank you very much. I hope y'all have a great rest of the conference. Thank you.